And on top of that, when you say attention outwards, I'm thinking even like on social media.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people that got in trouble because they liking too many of these posts. You know, so I mean, I was careful not to like posts, but I sure was glancing because I was like, you know what I'm saying? But
He may have liked a couple here and there too.
that was an accident.
Uh-uh.
That was an accident. I ain't tried to like that for real. We back. We made it. Round 1 was a little tough. Round 2, we back. And we still here.
Round 1 was good. What you talking about?
No, it was tough because it was some tough stuff to swallow now, you know what I'm saying? We ain't fight in between, we ain't had no arguments, we ain't fight, there wasn't no surprise to you feel me?
Y'all thought that's what that was gonna be?
But now it's about to be even, we couldn't even go deeper. Listen,
Yeah.
now, first off, I'm Justin, this is Crystal, for y'all that's tuning in for the first time. We gonna dive in deep about attraction. What would you do? What would you do if you lost that attraction that you had for your wife? Because when you
For your husband.
or for your husband, because some of y'all be getting them bellies. I just ain't never had that, so that's why I said, you know what I'm saying. I ain't never-
Justin.
All right, but I'm just saying though, because they always like you skinny, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm skinny, but you big, you know what I mean? All right, that was personal, my bad. So this is the thing though, like when you first had that initial attraction, something caught your eye about that individual that prompted you to have that conversation and make it pass at her because you wanted to know a little bit more about her. When I first met Crystal, she was working at McDonald's drive-thru, and she had this big old smile. Her smile captivated me, like with the quickness. And she was, everything, she was just bad to me. She just looked, you was that deal. I was showing her off to everybody, going out there. But as time goes on and kids happen, things happen, bodies change. And what do you do if you lose attraction? Because I got to the point where not only was I fed up, but I also was losing that attraction. And it was just like, listen, what am I even doing in this relationship? Like, why am I still doing, like, I thought she was gonna be a baddie all the time. In my eyes, it gotta be specific, because she might not have been a baddie to me, but she was a baddie to somebody, because they are still hitting on her. Don't think I don't know.
And I think it's not even necessarily just physical attraction, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you can lose attraction with someone based off of the conversation had changed.
Facts.
You can lose attraction based off of, just the direction that the relationship is going.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not on one accord in the first place. So once you start kind of getting out of sync with each other, and if your attention is directed somewhere else, it could not necessarily be the physical attraction immediately, oh, I've lost that. But if your attention is taken off, then you start to kind of nitpick the things that annoy you, nitpick the things that you wish could be better. So it's not even necessarily physical attraction, but when you are not on one accord, when there is some type of a weft drawn between, and your attention is outside of the household, outside of the marriage, then it even becomes easier to be like, I don't like that. And then you start judging the other person.
And on top of that, when you say attention outwards, I'm thinking even like on social media.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people that got in trouble because they liking too many of these posts.
Yeah.
So I was careful not to like posts, but I sure was glancing because I was like, you know what I'm saying?
He may have liked a couple here and there too.
That was an accident.
Uh-uh.
That was an accident. I ain't trying to like that for real. But no, like on the serious note, like
Yeah.
I found myself scrolling because, especially in the phase when I was on that fit tip, you know what I mean? And I was constantly scrolling or social media or just comparing you.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, dang, like, she got a badonkadonk. And my wife badonkadonk is like mid. Like, you know what I mean? It's mid, but then also there's times when, you see people going into the gym and they have a fit, like they just super fit.
Yeah.
And I had I guess I could say I had a unrealistic expectation because it wasn't like I was motivating you or inspiring you to get in the gym, even though you know, there was a time when you was doing it by yourself. You was like, forget it, I'm gonna just do it by myself. But I actually, fellas, don't do this. But I actually told my wife in a way that she was unattractive, that I was no longer attractive. I was like, I'm not attracted to you no more. Like, you're no longer attractive. What did that do to you? Like,
I don't think it's necessarily in don't do that. It's really just in the way that you did it. It was just like, dag. You know
I
what I mean?
remember.
Just the way that you said it. Like, we already weren't seeing eye to eye. And then, like, the way that it was said and people that you were talking to, it was coming back to me, you know what I mean? And so it was just a toxic situation. Yeah. And so where that information could have been beneficial to me, you know, and whatever it is that I could have done better. And sometimes it's not even something that you can do better. It's your, you know, your eye, you know, it was hurtful. It was really hurtful. And especially, I remember there was even a time where I had dropped like 30 pounds and I was going out. I was like working out and things. And you still wasn't giving me the time of day, you know? And so that's why I said, like, it's not even necessarily all just on appearance. It's what is happening at this point in our marriage, because you can, like, there are people that, like, especially, like, I had just had kids and we were going through that too. I had just had, I think back then it was Mariah. And you have people that, you know, are at a place where, hey, my body is dope. You know, I'm where I'm at. You know what I mean? That the physical isn't the issue.
Yeah.
So then where do you go beyond that when that's the case, but somebody may still find themselves unattracted?
That's true.
And I know for women, you know, I always give the women take. The men that we are married to or in partnership with, they could be clack, 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 you know, everything that we want. But if they are not taking care of home, then we may lose attraction for them. Yeah. You know, if you're not leading, because it wasn't necessarily a point where I wasn't attracted to you physically, right. But when you weren't leading spiritually, when I didn't feel like I could trust the decisions that you made, that they were going to increase or advance our family, then it's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's a turnoff. Yeah. Or if I feel like you're already not making sound decisions, then it's a turnoff. Yeah. Because naturally as a woman, like, we want to feel protected. We want to feel loved. We want to feel like you're going to really take care of us. And I know that a lot of women fall into dating the wrong type of men, like those rugged men, the men that are running the streets and things, because they got that like rough undertone.
That's what probably what got you, because I was kind of a little rough like that too in the beginning. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Anyway, I don't know about
I wasn't running in people's houses.
Oh man, you did. You were fighting.
Right, go ahead.
But can y'all believe that? That's so funny. But anyway, like a lot of times the wrong type of man is chosen because we are looking for that, you know, protection, that leadership, you know, and it leads us to linking up with the wrong type of person. And it's a lot of, you know, daddy issues, you know, not really having that model father figure, or just those types of things where for women, that is a huge component, right. You know, bringing the money into the house, making those sound decisions, leading the family in the right way. If there is a man that is like double-minded or is just like back and forth with what they want to do, and you're just following your wife all the time, you know, right. We're going to do this and this, and it's always your wife's decision, you know. Now, granted, we like to be able to have some say and make decisions and things like that, but ultimately, it's a very sexy thing to have a husband that leads, right. To have a husband that fully sets into that role, yeah. You know, and a house divided is just not going to stand. Right. But ultimately, it's the man's responsibility to be leading. Yeah. And for women, that's a huge component. Now, we want you to look good, you know, to be sexy and everything. But we also want a leader. We also want to be taken care of. Marriage Journal Revealed family, Crystal here. The mystery deepens as we approach our date night giveaway. I'm excited. Can you tell? Super excited. If you haven't subscribed yet, you want to make sure you do that. You don't want to miss out. So subscribe now and hit the notification bell so that you know exactly what's happening in the time that it's happening. In the next challenge, I'll be dropping a clue that unlocks the secret locations of our rendezvous. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. So listen, subscribe, like, comment, get ready for the adventure.
I know for the conversation that we've also had is men, on the flip side, when it's not just the physical, you can have a very, very attractive woman, but as soon as she get to talking and opening her mouth,
Yeah.
you be like, yo, I thought she was something, but nah.
But she's not.
She's not, because she's gossiping. Men typically don't like when women are always talking about, in the gossip space.
For sure.
Also, the level of respect, the way that you talk to your man can be attractive. I know there's ways that you've talked to me where you had to address the issue and you prepared me and calmed me down in the issue, where I've had the same situation in other relationships and they would address the issue ugly. And I was like, I'm done. I'm over with that. We can't have this conversation.
Yes.
I know for me, when I feel disrespected or there's a conversation or somebody, not just you, but just women in general get to talking, or people in general get to talking reckless, that's unattractive. Like, it's something that I don't want to be a part of, if that makes sense.
That makes
so,
sense.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a physical attraction, but also, how is the conversation? What type of conversation are we having? That makes sense.
No, that's really good. That's really important. And so, whereas the physical, because naturally when you're in relationships or when you're getting ready or when you're dating or whatever it may have you, you're attracted to a person physically.
There you go.
Naturally, you're attracted to a person. You know what I mean? We want to be with someone that is easy on the eyes, And you made a statement earlier in this conversation that even though you had lost an attraction for me, somebody else was still, And so even in that, it's so important that underlying issues are addressed. It's so important for communication to really, 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 really be made priority. Because when those times do come where you're not feeling the person that you're with physically, so much more, there's such a stronger desire for that person based off of who they are.
Right.
I'm connected and I'm drawn to your spirit. I'm drawn to, the mission and the mandate that God has placed on your life. Right. And so I may be able to look over, he done had one too many burgers, but even in that, it's important as partners that if the physical has begun to change a little bit too much and it is in our control to be able to bring that back, that the conversation is happening properly, where it's like, okay, babe, how can I help you and me together come up with a good fitness schedule?
I remember that when we were in that place, and I really wanted to, more so recently than anything else, is that when being a leader and wanting to get you in shape, I would have to take initiative.
Yeah.
Or even you would take initiative, because there's a time where I didn't have, I had health issues early. I don't know where these health issues came from, but early. And you were like, come on, let's go to the gym. Let's get your mind. Have you stretched today? Because I was a truck driver. I was on the truck a lot.
Yeah.
And so she would ask me, have I stretched today? Because I had a blood clot in my leg. Long story short, and it went to my lung. So she was making sure that I was getting out, stretching, and motivating me, encouraging me. And that's actually when I got in the place of really hitting the gym. Really like, okay, let me. I don't want to look like this. I don't want to feel like this. Let me get in the gym. But it wasn't until I got off the truck. Now we hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm going to the gym, we go on our hikes, and it's encouraging you to do the same thing. So it's not me like, oh, you need to, because at first I was like, you need to go to the gym. Like, you're looking crazy. I ain't say looking crazy. Let me stop. I'm doing too much. Not looking crazy, but I did say that.
It wasn't like that.
Tell me how it was, because I don't know. That was you. It affected you a certain way, but I know it was a certain way that the delivery was not what it should have been.
It's just, I think that it was when it came. Like, we would be in a dispute, or we would be in a heated conversation back then, and
that's growth right there, boy, because I don't do that.
It was something else, and I was just like, oh my gosh, or not even necessarily even a heated conversation, but like I said, whoever you was speaking to at that time, it would come back to me, and people would be like, oh, you want to go to the gym, or you want to do this, and it was coming from the wrong people, right. And so that was also disheartening.
So just talking to people about it, like, that's too much.
Yeah, instead of talking to me and helping me guide.
I felt like I talked to you. I feel like I did, but it wasn't effective.
And I might not have received it.
Yeah.
And that's respecting, respecting what you have to say to me, respecting your thoughts, and that you were initially, like, that you really were trying to help me. Right. It just wasn't coming out right. And I can't really pinpoint exactly how it was said, but I just remember it's not an easy conversation to have with your spouse anyway. Great. Especially me at that time being a first-time mom, and you're already at a state where your body is changing.
That's kind of crazy though, because I like the way pregnant women look. You know what I mean? So it was more so it had to have been the after.
For sure.
I know when you was pregnant, it was like, what I mean?
No.
I was about to say.
For sure. Okay, so let's even dive a little further in that. Like, we were touching on, let's just say that it's not necessarily all a physical. You're just losing attraction. Right. What are some things that people can do to get that back?
I know for me, and I'm speaking for me, and I know that I had to go to the word on this one. I had to, because I didn't know. I was just not attracted to you. Yeah. And it was just gone. So I'm like, okay, Lord, I want to be attracted to my wife. Yeah. And I remember the scripture that says, speak those things, although they're not as if they were.
That are not
as if they were. So I had to make up my mind. I had to tell myself, no matter what, you're going to tell your wife she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't think it, I'm like, no, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous. Oh my gosh, what you got on? I started complimenting her.
Yeah.
Back to back, and kept on complimenting her.
Yeah.
Till, like, I just like, you the baddest thing on the planet to me. Like, I have no eye. That's the first thing I had to start doing. The second thing I had to stop doing was comparing, looking at other women, having an eye for other women. Like, dang, she look good, or looking at her butt. Had to start looking at that booty.
Them genetics ain't there.
You know what I mean? So so we can squat it out though. You know what I mean? But I can't. Sure. I can't expect her to do no squats if I ain't gonna be doing no squats, because you know what I mean. I ain't got it all there either. You know what I mean. The only one that's blessed is the kids. That's the beard side. But no, I had that.
So comparing, that is really huge, because like, honestly, in our marriage, that happened a lot. Yeah. There was a lot of comparing, and I think that also has to do with just the maturing, 100%. And no guidance. What you think is the way that the marriage should look, or the way that you think your wife should look. So a lot of comparing.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So just stop doing that. To the point where I even stopped following certain people. I started like, man, why am I following this person? Why am I following that person?
Yeah.
And now it's just, and then another thing is, for me, another thing that I really honed in on, I started getting laser focused on what I wanted for my family.
Yeah.
Laser focused on what I had for, so I had blinders on, like just stuff like, I don't even do second looks no more. I mean, oh, she's cute, and just keep it moving. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No second look or nothing like that. But that's the biggest thing. And then the attraction just grew. And then I feel like that you reciprocated that.
Yeah.
Because the more I made you feel, and the more attention that I gave you in that, space, you started doing more. You started taking care of you. It's like, oh shoot, he really feeling me. Let me put this on. Let me try this. So you started, like, now you got bundles. You used to get bags of weed Now you got bundles, ounces and stuff. So I'm like, dang, them ounces change because that fake weed be all flaring up and stuff. Yeah, so now she got them. But tax bracket changed too because she was like, you know what, this, so we started, that's it.
You're hilarious. No, that's good. That's deep. And then like, even in that, again, a lot of times it all boils down to communication, and it is a choice.
It is a choice.
Because again, you have to be rooted. You have to really be rooted in who you are and where you're going in your marriage, in your relationship with the person that you're with. Because, lust for other people, that's a thing, and even in your marriage, when you're first getting married, that honeymoon phase, that wears off. That wears off. The husband sinks in, the dad sinks in, the business owner sinks in, and you're really getting to know a person, and you have all those changes that are happening. And I know for women, we change a lot throughout the years. We're changing our hair, we're cutting our hair is long, you have children, you're gaining weight, you're losing weight, you're loving who you are, and sometimes you're not loving who you are, and so it's just super important that the foundation is established. And not only your foundation in your marriage, but again, it all really goes down to prayer and who you are in Christ. Because knowing that God sent you to me, like knowing that you are here for me, that this marriage, we're in this together, and we're not here, I'm not here just to make you happy. Like, right. I can't make you happy. That's and if you being attracted to me was going to be, if our marriage was going to be predicated on that, then we're doomed to fail.
Yeah, 100%.
And so my joy, one is in Christ and in knowing who I am. And if I know who I am, then you are benefiting from that.
Right.
Because ultimately you're saying, okay, I wasn't attracted to my wife, but I also have to think about, okay, Crystal, where were you back then? Yeah. Where was your mindset back then?
No, that's 100% facts, because that's another thing. I had to take my eyes off of you and really focus. If you heard, I said I had to start praying to God, like, give me that attraction back. Yeah. I had to start taking initiative and telling you that you're beautiful and getting that membership to the gym. Okay, so if I'm not attracted, okay, you gotta have to spend some money out your pocket.
Yeah.
Start spending hundreds of dollars on Sephora.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars on this jewelry and stuff. Hey fellas, get your money up. If you're not attracted to your wife anymore, get your money up then. That's on you. You gotta get your money up so you can start taking care and dashing that out so she can do that type of stuff. You feel me?
But it's in self-care though,
yeah,
because again, you go through phases, and if you're not rooted in Christ, if you're not, if you really don't understand your purpose and where you're going, because we got married so young that I really did not understand where I was going, purpose and things like that. I was just living like day to day, and it was a difficult thing to do. And so even if you're not like into makeup women or anything like that, when you really take care of yourself, when you are taking care of yourself, and I've said this before, your family benefits from it, not just your husband, because I don't get dressed for him. I don't do my hair for him. I don't, get dialed up and things like that for him. I do it for me.
Feel good.
And
it makes you feel. I remember you always said that. Like, it makes me feel good.
It makes me feel good, and you benefit from it.
Yeah.
Because before we got together, I wasn't doing those things because I wanted to make Justin look at me. You know what I mean? I did them because I feel good about myself. Yeah. And so when you're falling away from taking care of yourself, then you add to the issue.
Right.
And so it's just super important that we're also having these conversations, because like, if you're like, okay, babe, what can we do to make sure that we're booking those hair appointments? What can we do to make sure that you're getting some time to yourself? What can we do to make sure that you're being restored? Mm-hmm. And vice versa, even for you, because men want that too.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I think having that, I know having that open line of communication, because we're consistently changing every single day.
Yeah.
is important, as well as to set the atmosphere in the house. If I'm not feeling good about myself, I'm our children's mom.
And I do want to talk to men about this, because a lot of men kind of neglect self-care. Like my son is different. He don't want nobody touching his feet. So I get not getting a pedicure and stuff. He's like, Dad, I just don't understand why somebody else got to touch my feet.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. That's cool. I don't know that's just how he is. But getting that manicure, getting facials, and I know a lot of men shy away from that because they're this alpha male, or what I mean, they say they're alpha male, and that diminishes their manhood in such a way. That's what they feel.
Yeah.
But ultimately, taking care of yourself, you feel better. Like I know when I get the pedicure, manicure, they shave me, put the hot towel around my face, do my.
Yes, you feel good.
I feel amazing, and then getting dapper, getting dressed up, and the compliments. Everybody loves a compliment. So, fellas, if you're feeling down, or you don't feel yourself, or you don't feel that strong in yourself, I mean, just try it. Just go out. Go to do some self-care. Ladies, treat your man to some self-care.
Yes.
Treat him to some self-care. It's not always about the man treating, but the women. I mean, just help a brother out.
Yes. And for those who have been married for a long time, we can sometimes get into this routine, right? You get into this routine where you just become so comfortable in your day-to-day, throwing your sweats on. You become so comfortable, and especially like newly working from home. So I make it a point, like I don't come out of my bedroom in my pajamas. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I'm done being in my bedroom, I am making sure that I come out looking like something, so you can get so comfortable in a daily routine that even for your spouse, they could even be like, oh, I'm fine, you know what I mean? But they don't even realize what they're missing out on. They're missing seeing you in your best light. And you do a disservice to your marriage or relationship, because then, boom, y'all out at Target and somebody else is on point. And it's like, well, shoot, you know what I mean? Double take. I don't want to see my husband in his house shoes all the time, you know what I mean?
They looking like Walmart, and these people looking like Target. What? Target Walmart people be looking crazy, but Target, bro, you gotta get ready for
Target, you gotta look like
something.
Spend a little bit more money in Target,
So it's important that you do like those self-assessments. You readjust, and not just being so familiar with just day to day, but be intentional, because ultimately you don't want things to get so dull. The longer you're married, the more important it is for you to make sure that you're keeping that spice, and that I don't see you, in the same thing over and over again. Like, go out, buy something new, do something for yourself, so that I'm benefiting from that. As your wife, I want to benefit from that.
And the last thing is keep the suspense.
Yeah.
What I mean by keep the suspense.
Tell them about it.
Oh, I'm gonna tell them. Ladies, close the door when you're using the bathroom. Close the door. We just leave some stuff. We don't need to see all, you just letting loose in the bathroom, the door wide open. I'll be walking past the door, got shut. Oh, my bad, I didn't even talk about us. But I'll be walking past the door, I'll be like, Chris, come on, man, shut the door. All this noise.
That's facts.
So just shut the door. Let's keep.
Get a little privacy.
Some privacy is good, you know what I mean? Some privacy is actually on both sides too, you know what I mean? I don't want.
That's another podcast though. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that? Okay, because I know I done did some stuff like, even I'll be like, man, Chris, let me do this in private. I don't want you to see all
like
this.
picking your nose, things like that. Privacy, But no, so like let's so attraction is such an important topic.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that if you are at a place where you're like, I am not feeling this person, I'm not feeling my husband, I'm not feeling my wife, I don't feel like having sex because I'm just not attracted. Like that is, I don't want to have sex with this person if I'm not attracted to them. You can't just let it go on, because it is your duty to have sex with your partner. You are responsible to make sure that you are doing your part and that you're being intimate with your partner. So whatever that underlying thing is, you all have to discuss it. You have to be transparent in it. And it's a hard conversation to have. It's not easy.
Nah.
I'm sure, you know, obviously because you didn't say it in the right way, but I'm happy that you did, you know what I mean? But it's not easy to tell your partner that you're not attracted to them. Yeah. But it's necessary if that honestly is where you are, and if that's going to be the detriment of our marriage.
You know what's crazy though? Like I was just sitting here thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Now it's nothing, I could say for some years now, it's nothing. I've always been like, you bad to me, like you look good to me. No matter where she's at, it's always been like that. Have you noticed that? Like I've never said, and this is the truth though, it's really, I just think you're just the baddest thing on the planet.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know.
No, you ain't gotta have it, you know, the weave is just, I like, just to be real with you, I really like her natural hair the most, but she feels good. She likes the way she
Like
is.
I said, I do this for me, not for him.
100%.
So one day I'll wear my natural hair for you guys, but not today. So super important, you know, to make sure that it's a topic.
Yeah.
And it's not something that just goes unsaid.
Yeah.
You know, we have to make sure that what led to the attraction being gone is discussed, and what brought it back is exercise daily.
Yeah.
Right? You mentioned
Speaking it, seeing it, cutting things off.
Yep.
Cutting, what's it called? Stop comparing.
Stop comparing.
You know, can't compare no more. This is your wife, your spouse, not just wife, your spouse. You're with this person till death.
Yes.
Till death do us part. So you might as well get used to that. Get used to it.
Yes.
But so let's work on it together. So yeah,
Yes.
stop comparing.
Stop comparing, and don't let there be something that's annoying you or something that you see that you're not willing to help and also do yourself. So if you want your partner to go to the gym, if you want your partner to get dialed up, if you want them to do these things, you need to also make sure that you're doing them as well.
Right.
You can't just put that on one person. You know, cologne is a big thing.
Yeah, smells.
You guys, listen,
Go ahead.
he could be in sweats, doing whatever, but if he smell good, scrumptious,
I got cologne on right now. I look regular, just chilling, but I make sure I smell good for sure.
Yes, and so I make sure I buy cologne, and it's not cheap cologne. I buy expensive cologne because, you know, I just love the way certain smells smell for him. So, yeah.
That's good. So listen, if you haven't already, you came this far and you still haven't liked, subscribed, you haven't did none of that, you're playing yourself.
Yeah.
You're playing yourself. Make sure you do that. We want to connect with you. Leave a comment. Tell us about, you know, have you lost attraction? And do you want to get that attraction back? Do you want more in-depth conversation? Do you want us to elaborate on a few things? Leave us a comment. We want to communicate with you.
And make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you'll know when we drop our next episode, because, oh my goodness.
We told you, we're keeping it juicy.
Really gonna be good. That's really gonna be good. But yes, just like Justin said, subscribe, share, tell somebody that's gonna tell somebody that will tell somebody about the Marriage Journal Revealed. See y'all next time.